Hey, what's up? It's Edward. Today we are talking about smartness. There's too much focus on trying to be smart happening right now in the world. And just like with niceness that we have already discussed before, it's great to be smart. You're able to navigate through the world more easily. You're able to create the kind of life that you want by basically navigating through the world, and all of that happens through connecting with the right people, knowing who are the right people, knowing what kind of value can you bring to the world, what the world actually needs, knowing what's happening in the world right now, seeing patterns of how stuff works, like how stock market works, how what are the trends in the IT industry, let's say what are the benefits of one programming language over the other one, how to analyze the game and make the tactics like a strategy for a football game so that you can beat your opponent, etc, etc, etc. Being smart is great. However, just like people who are not quite there yet, it's a good idea for them to become smart so that they are able to get the life that they want. People who have already reached this point where they can call themselves smart and continued putting a lot of, I don't want to cover my face, putting a lot of effort into becoming smarter and smarter and smarter, it gets to the point where they go from smart to crazy, where everything in life just becomes about brain, just about knowing stuff, being able to do stuff as fast as possible, etc, etc, etc. And when we do that, when we put so much focus and attention to be smart, to basically enhance how fast our brain processes stuff, we may end up in the situation, in the state of overworking. So we work too much, and when we work too much, we are not able to stay connected to our emotions, to our feelings, to our true desires, because we basically are our own or somebody else's slave. We do the execution, and execution is a great thing to do when you have a strategy and when you have sanity. Sanity meaning that you are connected to your feelings and your emotions, and you do everything for the betterment of life, for the betterment of love, for the betterment of everything that is natural in this world. Because if we forget about life and love, we forget about having a good time, forget about loving, forget about spending time with people, going to get-togethers, to parties, to kind of experiencing the world together, connecting with the nature, with the animals, we start do stuff that, yes, it is smart, yes, it gives power, but at the same time it doesn't take into account where we human beings want to get. So we become crazy, and when we are crazy, we become evil. We do stuff just for the sake of power and money, and for the sake of creating stuff. So it's like it becomes like a mass production, mass creation for no good reason. So right now there is a lot of effort being put in digitalizing the world and in working on or creating artificial intelligence that could save the humanity from needing to do laborious, boring, monotonous, tedious tasks, which is seemingly a great thing. But so long as this is the number one priority, instead of human betterment, instead of our health and our happiness and us doing actions to positively impact humans around the world, we may be going down the wrong path, and it is in our power and our responsibility to take control of our own life, to be smart, to do useful things for the world, but at the same time always come back to peace, come back to relaxation, then have fun, meet people, share love to someone, love somebody, create great experience for somebody else, or experience it, depending if you are a more proactive or more passive person, or if we're talking in a more conservative, traditional terms, if you're masculine or you're feminine. We have to be able to basically go through all of the stages. When people are just getting started on this planet, we have to become smart, so we are able to survive in this world. Survive meaning get the life that we want. So it's no longer that much about actual survival, actually being alive. It's about getting the life that we want through getting, well, basically surrounding yourself with something that you want, whether it's objects, or it is people, or it is experiences, it is opportunities, etc., etc., etc. And then after we become smart, because here we are dumb and happy, here we become smart, and we shouldn't keep going too much into the future. So we should keep working on becoming smarter and smarter, but there has to be a limit in which we focus on the other part, which is being alive, being sane, being natural, being fun. And an easy hallmark of whether we are that is if people want to spend time with us. So if you can come to any person anywhere and you can have a fun chat, a good interaction, so that you both enjoy it and you would want to do that again, you're on the right track. And in terms of smartness, you have some stuff that you do that is beneficial to someone in your life. Whether it is just your career, or especially better when you focus on something like you have a hobby that you are able to show something to the world. So if you're having a logical job in your free time, you do stuff that has something to do with your emotions or with your creativity, whatever it may be. May be a stand-up comic, you may be an artist, you may be a photographer, you may be a singer, actor, whatever suits you. But we have to keep these two things balanced, because if once we're smart, we start to become obsessed with becoming smarter, and it's very easy to do because we live in a very competitive world, and before people mature enough to overgrow the need for competition and arrive at the situation, at the state of life in which they are concerned about giving value, we have to be very careful not to sacrifice sanity of the world, happiness of people, and joy from actually living as animals, because we are animals. We are smart, but we are animals. We are smart animals. We have to keep these things, keep them balanced. Keep becoming smarter, but always spend enough time relaxing and having a good time. So don't follow those the ideas of those people who tell you that you have to work 60 hours a week, 80 hours a week, 120 hours a week, etc., etc., that you need to work whole time and be proud of that. Don't do that. Listen to how you feel. If it doesn't feel good for you, don't do that. You're gonna make this world worse. You're gonna become one of those crazy people for whom power and money is more important than human life. Whether it's actual human life in terms of, if we're talking about life and death, or it is human life in terms of happiness, that you are making the experience of living for people better or worse. And if your employees, if your children, if your friends, if you see that they are basically people you have power on, if you see that they are not exuberant, they're not super excited about life, there may be your fault in that. And the more power you have, the more it is your fault. So if you're an employer, well, you have pretty much all the power. Let's stay sane and keep becoming smarter. We need smart people in the world, but the most important thing, which is far more important than smartness, is staying sane. And for that, we have to be moving through the world at our own pace. Don't try to outrun anybody. Don't try to force yourself to work harder than you can, work as much as you can, and just, do the incremental development. Maybe you can work 60 hours a week and stay sane. Maybe you can, but you have to start with 40 or you have to start with 20. Why do you think people who are just getting started at work, they start, if they're sane and their employer is sane, why they start working from less hours, whether it's like 15 hours or 25 hours, and they slowly build it up? You always have to do that. It's not only when you get started at your first job, it's when you're getting started anywhere. Sport, you slowly build up. So first you run 1 kilometer, then you will run 1 kilometer 100 meters, 1 kilometer to 200 meters, and you never force it. Once you start forcing it, you are trying to outrun, outdo, outperform other people. And when you focus on that, you become evil. Competition is it may have been useful, and it could be some way be used to create a better world for all of us. But we have to remember that the most important thing is giving value and being unique, giving value that nobody else can give, finding a way how you can give value to other people. Once you do that, once you shed off the competition mindset, the world completely changes for you, and your smartness is going to be used not only for yourself but also for other people, and not only at work but also in your free time, because you're going to be able to navigate through the world no matter what you're doing. You're meeting people, you are giving speech, you're working with your brain, you're working physically, or no matter what you're doing, you're going to be able to navigate through that in a not only wise but in a sane way that is going to benefit you as an animal, you as a person with their individual, with their own goals, and it's going to benefit everybody around you. This is the most important thing for us to do. Otherwise, we're going to go crazy, and if we do, hopefully some kind of asteroid is going to fall onto our planet, but it's not going to get to that because we spread this message around. It's been Edward. If you found this message of value and you feel like you want to talk more about it, or you want to ask a question, feel free to do it in Twitter or Instagram. The links are down in the description, and then you can do the like, subscribe, etc., stuff, which obviously helps, blah, 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 blah. See you in the next video. Take care.